Shabbat Shalom and welcome everyone. My name is Mansur and I'm reporting to you live from Tel Aviv. We just had a night full of ballistic missiles launched on us in Israel from Iran. Some of them, most of them landing on civilian location, heavily populated location. We're not going to share the locations right now because we don't want to help the enemy, although there's quite a lot of videos out there showing where it landed. It's just a reminder, stop sharing these videos, don't help the enemy. The assault from Iran followed the attack of Israel on the nuclear facilities in Iran in an attempt to foil the preparation of the Iranian regime to build a nuclear bomb so they can come and do exactly what they've been saying to do, which is destroy Israel and destroy America. We got to start listening to these radicals when they say what they want to do. So Israel, thank God, is probably one of the only responsible adults in the room, and they went and said, we're not going to let this happen, and initiated a surprise attack, combined attack and hybrid, very special attack with the Air Force, with the intelligence, with the Mossad operation, with special forces behind enemy lines. And they went and they sabotaged the Iranian nuclear program as well, start taking down launchers, rockets, and key locations, eliminating quite a big number of the top leadership of the Iranian regime, the special forces, the military, and the government official, including scientists. Iran followed with an attack on Israel. And I'm here in Israel. We just survived, you can call it, the first night. We had to run down to bomb shelters. Some of these rockets landed not too far from where I was. I literally felt the shock wave. It was quite heavy ammunition that was shot into civilian populated areas. But here's something very interesting that you got to take in mind. When I was in the bomb shelter, you can go to my YouTube channel. I have a separate YouTube channel where I'm showing these things live. You can see how I recorded the times of being in these bomb shelters. In places like Iran, like Gaza, like Hezbollah, what they do is they use these bomb shelters to hide the terrorists, and they don't let civilians go over there. They use these bomb shelters to hide their weapons of mass destruction while preventing from their own civilians to go, because they want to use their civilians as human shields. Here in Israel is the complete opposite. That bomb shelter had women, children, elderly, it had religious people, non-religious people, Jews, Christians, Arabs. I'm Druze, by the way, if anyone knows what the Druze people are. It's a very small Arab minority that is one of the prime best examples to coexistence here in Israel. We share all the rights and obligations like our brother, the Jews. In Israel, Druze children, girls, have just sent a satellite to space, while Druze girls in Lebanon and Syria are being hunted, kidnapped, and forced to become sex slaves and forced to fight for their life. While in Israel, the Jewish state is the only place in the Middle East where they give these minorities a life, and they give them opportunity, and they give them equal rights. And I am a living testimony. I am an authority that can come and tell you this is true. Me and my family. As for me in my house, we can tell you that this is the reality here in Israel. Giving you this update of what's happening in Israel, you can see here that Tel Aviv, although the attacks that came and etc., here there's an airplane right now coming. I mean, they said there won't be any airplanes, but I guess there's probably special permissions for special airplanes to still enter the country. The airport, as far as we know, has been closed. But here's something very interesting. Although they try to show you all the images of the destructions and I don't know what, Israel still managed to foil more than 90% of the attacks that were sent towards its way. So about 100 rockets were launched from Iran, and out of them maybe 10, give or take, managed to land in civilian populated areas with quite massive damage where it landed. I mean, we've seen pictures of cars who exploded and flew on top of one another. People thought that maybe some truck moved these cars, only to realize later on it was an explosion that completely evaporated the whole street, and the cars were flying over on top of buildings. Buildings are destroyed. So these rockets, they definitely pack a punch. It's not something to be joked with, and it's something that we haven't seen so far landed here in Tel Aviv, not by the Houthis and not by Hezbollah. It's pretty much, you can say, a next level. But what I want to show you is something very interesting that people forget to show, especially mainstream media. You see this? That's over there. That's the river. When they talk about the river. And this is the sea. The sea, the river. From the river to the sea is so close. It's literally a small piece of land, which is the only Jewish state on the face of this earth. Probably until the moon, the Milky Way, maybe in the galaxy. It's the only Jewish state that exists. And in that Jewish state, it's the only democracy that have real freedom in the Middle East. The only one that allow different minorities, Arabs like myself, Christians, Jews, Hindus, doesn't matter what, any minority that lives in Israel is protected and have full right to practice their religion and to practice their faith and just to be safe, the only place. And you still have people that want to come and destroy all of this, so they can make it another failing radical Muslim nation in the Middle East. And that is a terrible idea, and doesn't matter who's telling you what, they don't know what they're talking about. Trust me when I'm telling you that. My name is Mansur, I'm an Israeli, I'm a Druze, born and raised in Israel. I served as an officer in the IDF, I was in the special forces, and I studied this history of this land. I actually walked the entire land of Israel, more than from the river to the sea. I walked all the way from the north, well, that's kind of behind me there, all the way to the south. I walked all of Israel by foot, and I can tell you, it's a beautiful nation. It's a small nation. It's a very, very unique nation, and it's one of the most loving and kind nations on the face of this earth. And this nation right now is being under attack by a very evil, radical regime that is fixated on building weapons of mass destruction. The people of Iran, the innocent people of Iran, have been kidnapped by radical religious fanatics that don't care about them. They don't care about building them a better future and giving them a better future for them and their children and generations to come. All they care is risking the annihilation of their own country just for the dream of murdering and killing innocent Jews and innocent Christians and anyone that is not like them, including Muslims. They kill Muslims. They don't care. Shia and Sunnah, they hate each other more than they hate the Christians and the Jews sometimes. But here's something that Americans should start to understand. The Iranians, they probably hate America more than they hate Israel. You need to understand, for Islam, the battle against the Christians is much, much bigger than the battle against the Jews. The Jews were a small group, minority, kind of a nuance almost in their bigger picture. They went, they killed a few of them, they enslaved many of them, and they let them live in a very humiliating citizens class Z or Y, very, very humiliating ways. But the Christians, that was the empire that they were forever at war with. And they still see America as a Christian nation. They still see Europe as a Christian nation, even if Europe forgot that they are a Christian nation. And for them, this is the big war. That's why, hence they call Israel the small Satan and America the big Satan. So trust me when I tell you that they hate you in America and you in Europe more than they hate Israelis and the Jews. Only difference is Israel and the Jews and the state of Israel and the IDF is the first and last line of defense right now that you have before they come and they start going after you. So Israel right now fighting this war is not fighting only for the sake of Israel, it's for the sake of the West. And just like they did with Iraq and Saddam Hussein when they went and took down his nuclear facility, and many nations in the world got angry about Israel. Oh, you guys are warmongers. What are you doing? How can you do that? Why can't you just live in peace? And later on, when they saw Saddam Hussein using chemical weapons on his own people and on the people in Iran and others, they said, wow, thank God that Israel went and stopped them. Because just think what would have happened if this lunatic, this jihadist lunatic, would have had a nuclear weapon. Same thing is happening right now with Iran. Israel seems to be the only responsible adult in the room, with the help of America, by the way, which seems to have maybe played some kind of a role behind the scene, pretending like they're not into it, but then later on into it, allowing Israel to do what they're doing right now. But if you ask me, it looks right now that Israel is mainly doing it by itself, with the support of America and the West and etc. But I'm talking the aircrafts and the Mossad and the agents and special forces on the ground and the cyber and everything. So backing them up, supporting them, that's great. But if you ask me, we'll probably need a lot of prayer and a lot of involvement from the Western community to realize that this is not only the battle of Israel, it's the battle of the West against very evil forces that want to see the way of our life burned to the ground, burned to ashes. That's what they want to do, and they keep saying that, and we need to start taking them seriously as they're saying it. So anyway, I'm going to try to be giving you here updates from the ground here in Tel Aviv. There was an attack last night. We had to run to the bomb shelters about 3 times, and they said that maybe there's hundreds of drones right now coming our way. Luckily, our Air Force, our helicopters, our airplanes are very good at taking down these drones, including the defense system of the Iron Dome and the Chetz and these stuff. But these ones are used mostly against the more difficult to intercept ballistic missiles and etc. We're gonna try to keep you updated what's happening, so stay safe, stay tuned. God bless you guys, and thank you so much. My name is Mansur, and I'm here in Israel trying to give you the best update of what's happening. Flip-flops on the ground. Everybody likes to say boots on the ground. We're gonna say flip-flops on the ground. We like flip-flops in Israel. Stay safe. See you next time.